Hello. Here is come on this note. Just we check the mic. Which mic it is? Here it took only one mic it is showing. This one is not showing. Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's an echo cancel. Another one. Hey, this topic is pointed to Ross. Below. Okay. I'll go. Yes, take them. You just take them.
Everything is fine. Let's get started. Okay, so welcome to you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to all those who are on YouTube watching. Going to listen to this seminar. So I have great pleasure in introducing a great academician. So Venkatesan, who doesn't read the introduction to most of us, but I do it for the sake of intuition and through the students sitting here. He's been my collaborator, mentor, vision, and his career spans over nearly 5 decades, raising personality. He's a great scientist, but also wonderful. Presently, he's the director of Quantum Center in Oklahoma University. Before that, he was there in heading the NanoCore in Singapore. He established the Singapore NanoCore Center. Before that, he was a faculty for 17 years in the University of Maryland, College Park, where I had the great opportunity of being there as a visiting faculty for 2 years during the ITC and manganite boom. Before that, he was in Belcore for 17 years. Amazing, huh? And Venky is the inventor of pulse laser deposition, right? So after the discovery of ITC superconductors, YBCO, then most of the people felt that the conventional techniques, thin film techniques, could be used, sputtering and MBA. When those conventional techniques failed to deliver the goods, he was the one who thought about using pulse laser to create high quality thin films of silver copper oxide. And then from then onwards, it's the great story about pulse laser deposition for multi-component oxides. We all know that. World over, people use Well, if I have to go through all his accomplishments, that'll take more than half an hour. So he's a fellow of Royal Society and fellow of many academies, National Academy of Inventors, Singapore National Academy of Science, Asia Pacific Artificial Intelligence Academy, World Innovation Foundation, American Physical Society, and so on. And he has, to his credit, over 800 papers, 34 patents, and he also is the chairman of a company called Neosera, which is located in Netherlands. There's one division of it in Delhi. And more importantly, with all his inventions and entrepreneurial skills, he's one of the 100 highly cited researchers in the last 100 years. So it's always great question to have. There's a little issue with his voice today, but I will pull through.
Maybe my voice can last a little bit longer. So fortunately, the confidentiality is 2 days ago, and the total name is back for the whole day. came from the ocean. This thing. And then you have fog, so you just walk around and you get completely covered in water everywhere, and it's like really Fahrenheit for the temperature. Literally, I'll try to make my way through the talking today. My family will be delighted because for once I can talk. Okay. Go on. Stevens actually gets a break. Well, how do you relate myself? We can do this. Maybe we'll pick up.
Start.
Next slide, please.
Let's go.
Yeah, great. So, during the dive, we have a precision technology on this is called the Lynn. 35 million building the Quantum Center from a donation given by our first physics department head. You can also see how physics and then use donation of that kind. As the first year I read it, actually for that Quantum Center, I went to the ABM received a donation of $85 million from the together with the physics department. This part of the physics department. And all the money that he saved, he put them all into Warren Buffett's stock of the Berkshire Hathaway, and every dollar you invested in 1920 today is worth $1,000. That stock appreciated so much, right? So his family is billionaires basically. So they generously giving money to her because he's the big beneficiary. Next slide. Next. Those of you who know, this is my journey. I led a company which is in in 1973 to 83, I started from that labs actually. And I've been to retain centers all my life. I established one in Bella, and one in Bellator, one at Rutgers, and one at University of Maryland in US. And so when I decided to leave Singapore, I wanted to build another center. And so the opportunity came up here. The work in the beginning. I joined about July last year in 2021, and they take over the Center for Human Research. And then the vice president asked me to build another center in advanced materials. And so it was the word comet, said how can I do a bigger thing about it? That's where it is, federal human materials for emerging technologies. And so this involves a lot like 12 departments on the campus, so all the people working, everything from sustainable energy, artificial intelligence, and a variety of other technologies and photonics.
Is it mostly on materials?
For even catalysts or everything from plasma, electrocatalysts in the for energy conversion, hydrogen storage, and also things like membranes for artificial intelligence, secondary. We have been very similar, but if we are being next to this is the commercial center. And here, a little voice in the running of the center, you can see why, but in many of this, these are the current faculty, and after I joined them, I've had about 10 more faculty here, and slots of 5 more beyond this. So by in 5 years, there'll be a lot of group here, and try.
Next slide.
Well, my goal is to essentially build a world-class quantum research technology center, and of course we want to collaborate globally with everyone. And next of all, what can I do? Who is good of Oklahoma? Oklahoma, for me, was a very famous Broadway play by Rogers and Bernstein play, and that's all my connection to Oklahoma. But Oakland was undergoing a tremendous change. It's a university which is probably on the football universities in the country. They football is a big religion there. They're like they Catholics on it. But now the state has realized that for the economic sustainment of the state, they have to build up the university technologically effective. So wisdom has settled in finally. So that's what so they've now replaced the management of the university with a new president, a new provost, a new vice president for research, a new engineering team, everybody completely new. And they all have a vision, they want to transform this industry into a kind of like a, a research star. That's everybody needs to learn. So it's a good place to be. Everybody's thinking like you don't want to go to a place and just say anything on the way.
This is the everything under the sky for me.
There you
This is everything under the sky. Like the topics that you have. There is quiet.
Well, the one way is the thing that what the university did is they decided that they're going to develop a strategic vision for the university. So they said that all the research in the university is broken into 4 pillars. So these are one is actually aerospace, thinking global, okay, and environment, energy, and sustainability, and then future of health, sustainability, transformation, it's 4 verticals, okay. And then they have a bunch of points, okay. And the horizontals are Data Institute for Societal Transformation, Data Institute managed by or data scientists, British University, and then there's an institute for essentially sustainable energy and environment, like that. One institute, or an institute so like horizontal QuanTalk, and they're connected to these things, really. So the university research is like a very strategic vision and thinking that way, we stay here. So next slide. Quantum, connects very well with all of these strategies, in quantum, for example, computing material, the organised, like directly here, and was very interested in technology transfer and entrepreneurship. People from my research group have started more than 30 companies. So, I want to continue that tradition here also. Something like that. Oh, okay. So this is one materials group. Mike Santos, he does MBE of 35 materials, primarily for wind infrared, like gallium arsenide and all greater things. It's of course me and Hunter Peak is from Berkeley University, came on Paris, he's an Oxford, and we're building what's called a PLD foundry. So many PLD systems here, and be able to grow all inorganic films, multi-component films in this lab. And if any of you want to, Madras collaborate with us, want any kind of film, be able to do this in this lab. Okay, excellent. I'm sensing. So these are two groups much bigger than this. I couldn't get them into the photograph, right? But they're working with, from pop, section timing, I'm interferometer based sensors. So these sensors to see gravitational fluctuations, so they want to build this sensor to the size of a human fist is small. And to try. So if you get something in that, you can achieve computation along. If let's say you're sitting in the next room, your neighbor brings there, you can actually measure that. You can get a few use wrong and guys sort of about end of the 3 other things better than the optical days, with the industry standard. So there's a lot of application there. Okay, next one is B. And these are the new hires hired recently, primarily in optical communication. Might be the case very difficult to predict when quantum computing really become practical. Nobody in the field knows when a practical quantum computer is really going to come online. Management Google, even say, the moment you get 1,000 qubits, you have a practical quantum computer, we have achieved it. The same scientist in Santa Barbara works with he says, we need 1 million qubits to work. Yeah. in the market. So it's really a statement. He's no longer working with Google 5900. So he's very, so I'm putting the one getting together, they can. So during the play, who's gonna do one. Every time they can really know is important computing. Okay. That was huge one of the big flat. Okay. Madras. This big idea. You have a people putting companies and really large what is that?
Just value first.
No. There is artificial robots is something.
Yeah.
Simply small.
Don't forget that hey, you can run these computers in the application. But I mean, today can be done. I mean, teach the point where doing something cannot be done. So, for me, that we have a great point where it cannot be. That will be region. I don't know. It's 5 years, 15 years. I'm not. Something that's likely to happen a lot here. Why? Because you're getting hacked and companies are getting hacked. I mean, you see secure communication or one communication, what we need.
So you're talking about the entire program guards?
But just in a entire program gives you security because someone interferes, lead drops, affecting time, right? So we can go. And there's a advantage. But the being or computing it externally often communication with my meeting is that the reason why in the United States the biggest opposite interest in computing is because that one computer can break any classical code. So if you're getting a classical keys that can be opened by one computer. And that's what you laws creates in America. I mean, they're all afraid now. The US Navy uses classical reports all about like pages and pages of tools. But they can only look in like one computer.
Next country.
I imagine there's just American ship sitting in China Sea, communicating with Washington. All of them will be transmitted to the Chinese Corporation. They have one computer. And this is a big fear that's driving the American investment.
One of the two purposes can be settled, but
Exactly. All your card. Anyway. Okay. Pretty one communication, and this is what we're building this team here, and we're going to get there's at least a couple of $1 million in this program. Really builds up in a very aggressive way. And looks like oh, this is experience and what you can do. What this actually doing is actually using the points to institution that is very interesting there. But he's very good building groups with collaboration all across the country with many top universities putting a big effort. And he's working with Madras. This is our joint program that's IIT Madras, right? So you guys, this is the this is up there. Build a strong team and make this relating with the institutions, and IIT Madras is very well the leader. Finally, okay, so here about about $2.5 million in grants. Get about 80 people. Like over the 5 years, there'll be some about 150, 200 people, researchers in the in the industry. Thank you. Okay. Like a big. Okay. So anyway, this is the link hall, and right into the physics department, in the basement of the physics department, is where experiments are being built. So yes. But we have different areas here. Essentially, materials are made infrared, high optical nonlinearity, quantum application, advancement of energy and environmental challenges, geostorage, energy conversion storage, recycling, bioinorganic interfaces, hard and soft biomaterials, etc. Range, for people in so also with that entire notion, right? What's going to be a different story, that man, the economics and the farm are changing and the okay, so why do we care for low switching energy memory? Why is it important? So, let's take the human brain. It's amazing. Very often we come down upon ourselves. I'm not good. Much more. I know this, I'm not that. The reality is, virtue in the brain, independent of who the person is a medical. Really works 20 watts of power on that. Maybe a few differences between human being, pretty much. I just calculated how much power is consumed by human beings just in their brains. That's the 1 billion population. So that's the assumptions. One that brains consume the same power both by sleeping and being awake. Completely. Certainly, if you take the brains of animal team, our pregnant president, but we try to draw them out. They can be talking numbers here. And look at how it's consumed by data centers. In 2016 alone, they consumed about 3,000 times the power. And in 2025, 20% of the global power consumed will be in data centers. And if the energy consumption continues at this rate, rise, right, by 2040, there'll be no energy left for any other data center. That's really the giant business rate. One good news is 50% power consumed is in memory. So you can define efficient memory. That's printed in the electronics, generally saying, but let's look at the AI era. Okay. AI now is the big train starting towards early into it. Nothing can stop. It's coming and it's everywhere. It's cell phone, all the result of it. It's growing. How fast is it growing? It's like AI, the data for AI growing at the rate of essentially doubling every 3.5 months. Transistor density doubled every 2 years. Just that that's incredibly fast. Really amazing. What is the thing now is that implementing AI is beginning to really slow down tremendously. The reason is because we are still using conventional CMOS circuitry to design circuits that will do AI. And for AI, you have to use completely really really like thinking what's happening here. You're constantly moving data back and maybe big computation, take some weight for data computation, then back. We just work that way. But in air, every bit is counted. It's right. It's brain does it because the U1 is the CPU is also the memory. Everything is all doing the same thing. That's why the neuron will be never replicated by a human being for a 30 year. You will never be able to produce all the things that a neuron does. It's the most sophisticated devices that we know. It's amazing. What do you think? The most important thing is the conventional computing system, the CPU and memory are spatially separated. So, you take you do an HTTP AI process, right? The energy involved in just moving the data back and forth is almost like 95% actual processing energy. It's very, very rich. And there's a large energy delay. So the people are now co-locating memory and CPU. But then there's a problem that heat dissipation would, you put a memory directly on top of CPU. This is what Intel thought of 10 years ago. It's firmly, right now, Micron, the collaboration, finally they come up with that to create a memory that's the amount of engineering that's going to heat dissipation is just tremendous. Now, this in-memory computing, that's what is the way computing in memory CI is everybody's way towards things. And so, AI mimicking the neuromorphic computing is the edge. And why for future we need to really develop knowledge. Okay, so and the fundamental difference for neuromorphic computing is the memories. Okay, and all these insurance are running against me today. My voice, my devices, what's going on? I'm very
Really funny. Okay.
Let's change the figures.
Hang on, you can.
To build these kind of memory states, right? There are many, many approaches to take from memory states. And one thing that we are following is that even the case of our site, there are many different types of memory states can be developed. So memory state is basically a capacity structure. Metals, and you put a dark in the middle. Then you send current across. You measure the conductivity across these two metal plates with the dark in the middle. Now you have a number of different processes by which I can build the memory state. The mechanisms are a little different. One is the oxygen vacancy diffusion. So in this pattern is that when I apply electric field, oxygen vacancies form and they interface with the metal and then they start accumulating, and as I keep increasing the voltage, these oxygen vacancies start forming a shorting across the two metals. So it's like the dense form right in, and then suddenly boom, like a lightning, it suddenly strikes, and then your conductivity jumps. That oxygen diffusion vacancy based memory systems are the most popular memory systems today. I mean, Samsung is actually building linguistic computational model, and Swiss TSFC, and many universities around the world are making their own memory brain circuits based on memory using oxygen diffusion techniques. The oxygen diffusion is like the oxygen usually crosses in the baseline here, anywhere across the diagram. Everything. So there's a stochasticity in the system which gives rise to non-reducibility between the devices. So they're not all identical. So you have to build an error correcting to the circuits, these sort of things. And it ends up costing a lot of energy and also time. Really more. So that was disadvantage of it. That's one which is most developed, so everybody's. Yeah.
The goal and for creating a vacancy,
We not that low energy.
not
No way. It's comparable to the American countries, for example. You know, then there's no problem with this one. Either one that you're actually working for, we put a ferroelectric battery, a static battery, and then that creates. And it's totally. Thing, ferroelectric. Now you get very technique with ferroelectric. Then you got see a metal and metal at the bottom, and then you get a characteristic like this. There's a resistance versus voltage. We can start seeing there's a certain jump. We can break it. Then stays up there. The thing is very easy to go back to. There's a big race in operation. The ratio of those here. In this case, you can see black and two people usually tend to be tend to play and really all kind of. And the way they do that is by inserting different layers in the, the gun blade, which is a metal, ferroelectric, and the metal chain. This extra layer, get a little ratio, and nobody understands. So we decided to use those. This is our one. So what we do is we take a metal electrode is niobium dose friction tank. This is the thing that I've been. We can do everything at reduction. Everything is single. Well, this is simplistic uses where the barium technique and this platform. So this is what's what I call phenometric validation. Now we can add another layer. We add a platinum friction manganite. And we can add two more layers compositions. And you can see this is what it looks like in a TEM searching. You can see all of the curves lined up very beautifully. Really still some layer. Now, this is one of the critical characteristics of the orders and B. So you see that in this particular case, that there's a lot of ratios, a little more than 3,000 or so. That's a short thing. Exactly. But they actually that you can see that using that very short there's a certain amount of non-usability, for example, this soft gauge resistance slightly increasing with, it's kind of like beginning to increase. You can see that, see the orange stickers. This is a very short, but that's reason. And this is we're looking at those oxygen diffusion migration. So this is only the issue contended. What happened when all the layers of water on operation? So there are three different devices. Just only the bottom SDO, only one ferroelectric layer. There's a ferroelectric layer, the manganite layer, different magnetic layers of ferroelectric. What you see is the three devices. The switch voltage is the same. All the three devices doesn't matter. Purely controlled by the voltage of the ferroelectric network. And it's going to be switching voltage is also the same. The all is completely controlled by the ferroelectric layer. On the other hand, look at that values. The so-called the on resistant values, they show very, very little dependence on the number of layers that I've made. So actually different layers that I've inserted. But I've inserted go to the off resistance. And then we support you. That's why you have one ratio goes up, but then I integrate layer. So I'm very curious, okay, what is the limit to this ferroelectric tunnel junction? How thin the ferroelectric layer can I make? right? Then, so reducing the thickness of the ferroelectric. So we can get down on like 8 units down, 6 units down, 4 units down, we're not just 3 units down. You'll get a very beautiful breaker for the ferroelectric. Many theaters, it takes minimum of 3 units of ferroelectric to recognize that it's a ferro. You know, we try to figure out what is the fundamental behavior, now being able to get that's a good. I think it's kind of like, you know, somebody eating breakfast and it's numbers that goes more dominant. Yes, the greatest statement all time, you know, but I don't think, you know, say, but it's really like a popular concept that, you know, below 3 units, electric. Here is 2 units of work. It's even more interesting. Transmission function. Very, well, the same. But yeah, it's the interesting thing for me. And this is actually, there's a unit sound. And as we talk about this, the exact one thing. Same thing, and again.
State voltage is also the same.
But
State voltage is also the same.
yeah, I mean, the field doesn't scale with thickness of these ferroelectric. That's what it really comes to. In the CP, but it's where the voltage is, which is
Not the case with Madras.
yeah.
You have 5, 6 layers, don't see anti-K.
Hey, which is an idea about different volume.
That's what it is. The modern. So, so that's not true for minimum size, is what true people raising. But the theoretic condition works because of the equal. So it wants to be ferroelectric, but the equal doesn't change it, but the field, you have the moment. I think depending on how you want to polarize it initially, is the one direction.
See the data here.
And that's the case.
Yeah.
But,
No, let me shoot one more data. This is actually 1 units of ferroelectric. This actually, this is essentially the on-off thing for 1 unit ferroelectric thing. So this is the on and this is the off state thing. And we see this kind of big change in the ferroelectric thing from 1 unit. And we did this BFO, and we've shown this also with BTO.
the testimony, the testimony is here. Yes, I'm gonna hear this.
The first in the year of 9 STO was made, and then when the layer account, and then you can happen. Very simple structure.
That's the thing that I think. This is for program. This is for, but then if you present that.
Yeah, so you can make, they won't work for a very good point. Okay. Typically, 10 years or 15 years, okay, like 15 years, I'm coming smaller.
This will be the federal space that instead of a common.
Yeah.
But then the reduction in thickness, you still have the federal institution.
I mean, to me, the fact that single units of phenomena behave like it, that to me was very amazing. This is happening.
The way to understand it. If you practice it, then coding material. I've seen the channel. So what is that usually the fun? It is like this, it has to be 3 units.
I told you that when I tried to begin to why this in this kind of
Here, to be material, the monomer, they show ferroelectric.
yeah. In rare, they used to rare, it's just idea of you're talking nonsense, right? Where I get the facts. No.
There are like that's creating the material to give a talk on this. I mean,
stream in the competing with streams, so not 50%, sooner or later. I am collecting lot of cup, it's very easy, just a smaller layer of cup, smaller layer of this material. It is shortened. So I am trying to see if I can use this ferroelectric material, the other material, so we can reduce the band gap and so on.
I'm using some just normally not the.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, exactly. So this
You have take the timing, a lot of these things that I'm talking about, 8 years, 7 years,
Yeah.
makes sense here, right? And at the time, this work was done, this work in 3 or 4 years, right? So I'm saying we want to be medical data or much more reach.
then this, yes,
Yeah, we should see like a year,
then we hear.
so it's really after the.
That's the reason. The shit here, the cooling material is material. Because there is the electric field coupler, the material factor, that's the cooling material. And the electric, the bandwidth can reduce the applying field. So here you look at applying field at all, because there is the inmate
Yeah.
field coming up. So you can take, for example, molybdenum substrate, which is a large band gap, still use it for wicking, because the band gap is pretty. And this is all like you can grow one or another. That's what kind of interested me.
Okay. Great.
You can understand this, I get it, it's just protected. Like oxygen. The oxygen can hold this drop the right by space. There is a and the that layer also can say. So it gets by using oxygen because it's critical. Oxygen. Yeah, I think it's that's Wi-Fi, but down and it has one less role, I think, but on a series of it. Because even in magazines, people are shown
Again, more. So,
I want to show you something. Technology first,
one for this,
earlier.
one of the early hard drive. Yes.
Okay. I want to show that. Difference between, say, what happens if membership works on an option diffusion, the vacancy diffusion versus the phenomenon. Okay, so here, for example, the gradient technique, the distortion. And see that when I play it, you mentioned the essentially arcs of voltage. Medium technique, you got a beautiful like this STO, you get this mechanism completely controlled something. This is actually from Gaussian diffusion, vacancy diffusion speaking. But you can see that we get here, right? We'll get the consequence, the barrier, in the case of the STO, which is the Gaussian diffusion thing. And sorry, there's a inverse dependence. It's essentially then everything feed is required, no option. Then sort of see this thickness dependence as this sort of way. And BT on the other is through electrical. So there's a fundamentally different way to manage this operate. The other thing is wave technique, and then I create the same device with higher field, and I get the oxygen vacancy in the BT remove. Then I get another switching characteristic. And this is actually from oxygen vacancy diffusion, and this one is completely from the effect, basically from the magnetism. It's very interesting that here the fashion there's a lot of very interesting thing we want to do by putting Austin migration. There we can plan the Austin migrate to point, stop there, a little bit more, a little bit further, and be different from stuff like that. Then essentially develop resistor that still take the benefit, still take benefit. Will be very useful for anyone computing. And there people, so you can do that, rebuild barriers, with your option diffusion barriers. I just want to do that experiment. How do you make it feel like you really do the composition? If you're very much growing, that would be fantastic, right? Make the number can control immediately the growth parameter, change my target. So in the beginning process, we now have a new technique that we have developed called low angle phase shift. So this technique enables us to measure the composition of the film is growing. Because I'm depositing the you can actually measure it. And we, for instance, this means here, there's an electron beam comes in, there's a substrate here, that only hits a substrate, and the electron beam is detected by this detector. It measures the phosphor flows on some screen here. The electron beam generates X-rays, but they're measured by this X-ray detector. Okay. So, for example, do the kind of a signal from the X-ray. You can see these are characteristic X-rays in your field there. So what you do is you measure elements of interest, and then after the data that you get in the field is growing, and then after you strengthen data sheet, you get a data like this. But then what you do is your computer develops a automatic exchange makes these ratio of the elements. Let's say the barium and the titanium, then you measure the ratio of the barium to titanium, letting it to 0. But in terms of the formulation, you get every flow process on some scattering effect all when you get the action composition. So if you magically tell me every 20 nanometer, you get a composition display the screen. Very significant.
This is breakdown. You have a breakdown.
You need to be
Is in the.
you need a certain digit. Yeah, actually. This thing is generated. It's called, for example, here's a film. We measure by flat films 0.678, calcium 0.32, MNOx. Okay, we send this film now to Sevens in California. Takes about 2 weeks because I have some, and that is again 0.67, 0.3. It's unbelievable in one person actually. The beauty of this is I get the data as I'm growing my film. But this is starts by wait for 2 weeks to get that data. You know what I'm saying? But I think this is going to be a game changer. I see it again. We're thinking of some ideas. Even hobbies is stuff, like high energy bunch. How you got
This is already detected.
Extreme detector and dispenses flavor behavior.
The electron takes place because
Why is there coming there's evidence you get announce X-ray detector that agent. Really trying to put it in some angles, away from the green thing.
because with SEOs that tells you a problem. Just have X-ray detector at one angle. But the way we do it with EM is they cover the entire thing, so collect all the X-rays, and that gives you better quantification.
How do they call it?
One detectors for large for
Yeah, the same thing, right? You like any same yeah.
they have some large for detector. That is very
We can do pretty now if we get that point or something that I use like similar detectors, they form me to say. Green planet is actually grow a light utilization. Neural research. Grow this stuff, right? And you can control sound growth of right? I think the sixth year, if you look at neurons, it's a weird thing. It's like a lot of things, right? And then there's a long tax, the long tax on career, right? And you can align these things with search. Again, thing that still is not connected in next, neuron is not. How do you do all this? People have found that if I take your neuron surface and I create a rich, like a channel, then you automatically aligns itself so that the thing actually happens in this channel. So you can be answer. You use that. How do you make sure that the neuron goes from point A versus point B? I don't know. Right. So I'm getting what came with a company called QuCenDiEM in California. This thing he does is they only use human neurons as detectors for current neuron substance, all kinds of sensory neuron injections and this neuron that they only use these in the way. So what they want to do is they build a circuit in the metallic system here, the metal electrodes coming up on the circuit like that. And then when you put it in motion, they've developed a technique to what's the name of this ball common for these guys, basically. When you place it back to the electrodes, it's wrong. When they take these metal electrodes, they cover it with actinides, and then the on top, the cell immediately encaps with once you make only contact with the cell. You can actually, the cell, what signal is produced, electrical signal is produced by this. And this has been done by this company, really well. So, but they don't have a way to put their cells exactly where you want. So you can all neurons. This is one neuron here, there's another one. And you can see the larger picture, they're just all over the place. These are they wanted to line up exactly this circuit here, this circuit here. They kind of I started studying, how does neuron different things. Okay. What we do is we create our own, we create a combination of instances. And we're using the PLD by a technique called CCS PLD. And so what you do, there are 3 targets, and then something is rotating, and I get a ternary phase diagram, 3 targets, then every 120 degrees or less degree, you deposit different material, right? You build a combinatorial library. Now, when you do this combinatorial library, the PDMS surface, and we create cells in it, and then we grow cells in one of these cells. And underneath, there are different compositions. So you can see each composition affect the cell. I'll give you some very interesting data. This is more neurons. This is a very field diagram. This end is all zirconia. This end is all clear. You look at the period, you want to think right next to each other. But it's especially first. Or you don't want to bucket here, you hate. Don't want to in your back. Yes, then you say, this is great, let's go. That'll be jump up. These are the most realistic. And these guys, you see, they make the 50% point, where in terms of 50%, but they start growing like. And now, interesting, there's a line here. Line is what's called a control line. That means with a standard log tracer. And these guys are growing faster than on the laboratory study. In fact, this is actually a stem cells. These are differentiated steps. And when I grew zirconium, you can see that this is a regular laboratory site. There's also 200% enhancement in the clinical from these things. So the idea is now I want to create a chessboard. The chessboard, black is functioning, white is actually looks like, right? But I'm not going to neurons on there. They only got to go where 20 mark site is there, and now they came out. So I can position them exactly where I want. So that's the idea of them, right? On initial level, give some very frustrating answers. What's our time? Normally, by only one neuron, that neuron will one neuron to connect. But if there is a pretty much already sitting on one neuron sitting on pretty much. The second neuron doesn't mind growing on the tree. That's a good company. This is a completely different thing for me as a physicist. Totally our correlated system. The neurons, they talk to each other, communicate with each other, and their behavior is altered by the system. The neuron, so it's not like we can't treat them as independent entities. They all influence each other in some way. But there's like cooperative behavior. Just like a completely me by surprise. I mean, this is wrong. But that's the like.
Where's the understanding? Something the substrate. The neuron in the substrate. There's some understanding of the interaction let's say for one neuron.
I didn't get into the detail, the physics behind it. Why they just like certain the neuron methods that that's this addition. Addition. And the other method surface, they love to grow it. They don't adhere well, they don't like to grow. Now, who the hell measures that addition? I mean, it has to work a couple of extra cellular matrix protein. So to get a cell stock, intermediate brokering proteins. These proteins act like brokers. They communicate. They tell us. These little proteins make no decision. So we start studying the proteins themselves separately, isolate them, and then studying on the economic systems, how they behave, right? And the step we'll be doing now. That's something we'll be doing in the near future.
So they are also responsible for this cooperative.
Everything, and you can study everything physically. You can study the thing, that vision behavior, right? After the change in the density of neurons, right? Or protein, density of protein, doesn't depend upon how the addition behavior perceived by interesting. The last part of the organic approach to memories. This one done by my dad to the treat score for me. And the molecule that was were made by his dad, the three brothers. So I mean it's probably other than the family. Certainly James was amazing man we will show. But just I consider this living in the 60 years be at least still in that. I mean this guy is like completely beyond the patch, but very good extremely. Anyways. So the way it works is here is that it's called feelings age of purity. Okay. So the way it's done is put together the center and there are 3 minors. This is the age of purity ligand. Okay. Age is the identical one and is the age of. So you can see this like a picture it is. Think of it like a 3-wing butterfly. 2 fingers, 3-wing butterfly. really tricky. It's a problems like Mercedes-Benz, you know. So now you put this molecule, you can stabilize on the you put an IT on layer, then spin this molecule on top, actually start broadcasting. And then these usually get it from different. And lo and behold, next slide please. Kind of density goes voltage gets very beautiful memory characteristic switching character. Now, what's really this is that there are 321 devices here, ranging in size from 1 micron to 100 micron. You know, these are the little devices in each size, and all this data is overlaid here. So this is the average, and this part is the variation. And you see, this is kind of the variation of all operations large that there's no error probability. The probability that you make a device in the wrong state, so this technically is 30, it's really very small. What's true for this? Is another spectrum of the market. Okay. The entire behavior of the we can describe as this aging group. So the age of the group as this N over N, and this is called a state. They'll call this as a zero state. Okay. And then when you essentially remove an electron from it, it's state one. You remove 2 electrons from it, it's state 2. And then we consider corresponding Raman spectrum 0, 1, 2. Yeah. So when we're measuring the defiance of the Raman spectrum, you can tell exactly what's going on with the states in the body. It's great. But amazing. This which is very unique to this model in molecular electronics, right? The little behaviors, mechanism wise, nobody just to look at the organic, but really good. But this is about the most precise, mechanistically understood molecule. It's unbelievably stable. We take these devices, keep them at 500 degrees in vacuum, and you bring it down. You use the CM capture.
How many cycles it can run? That characteristics.
More than 10 to the. Yes, if it's true and data, you're like incredible. I mean, that's why the guy who did it stuff gets fired. We get for it. Really fun. But
He's online.
maybe
He's online, what he doing?
those things are hey, 6 hours. I'm saying good things about it. So, like, look at a state one. State, when you have this number one state, the spectrum shows that you have basically, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, and this electron being removed is twice the size of this guy, right? So like 2, 1. So that can only be explained if the ligands are 1, 1, 0, right? Now I go to 2 here. The Raman spectrum, you see the 0 right now the signal double in size, and this has become noise. And that's because magnitude 0 is 1, and then it created which state as 3. You can see that in all the 3 ligands of the state. So this Raman usually gives you the right range state of the barrier. Now you can do this point here, 4 is also a wrong state. It's all in one state, and here it's 1, 1, 2 state. And then you come back to the point again, 1, come back to 3, it's actually regain state. And the interesting question is, you see something interesting here. Converting states of the ligands, they're the same identical reduction with the other converters. We're in one state, at least one of the ligand is. They say, how that doesn't explain, how can you explain this? It's very easy to understand. You might say for that the human or you can try to get an example, you can change it, stopping children, maybe like that. But they right, if there is the same feed option, they will solve it very different. Everything can easily come from one line to another. So you can really say, but if all the molecules were in this state, this molecule trans probability is third stuff this guy. Two-thirds. Here, everyone jumping up, so it's 1-1-1. But it's here 1-1, but the guy is gonna be there, not impossible. Then we're gonna put here space. But then it is 30 to 40 times to be one measure to the next measure. So 2/3 of 40 is a very small number, right? That's why it is large on. So this is how your space is basically, the
The definition is those are sort of things where, what is the structure? The morphs between this bunch of
especially swinging. We can be able to be very strong in it. As when it's in the strong state, it also reductive, something the more that's actually surfacing to crystalline form. The grass, to get out of it, actually, I think mentioned this in only people doing trace discovery and trying to set some meetings on our national lab, do these measurements from there. Very tricky measurement. But this ball can actually do some very amazing. Just giving you a many peeking what we're doing here. So the question where the histories is coming comes from the fact that molecule and small companion molecule called, counterion that we put in there. And there could be the chlorine, could be a very heavy counterion. And depending on how the inertia of these molecules change the nature of the hysteresis pattern. For example, BPH bond makes a narrow pattern, chlorine makes it a wider hysteresis. Really interesting. No, what's really exciting is molecule reaches the electron. Okay, so when I enhance electric field, here's a device. Okay, so everything is flat. The switching at about 4 volts. Okay, and the maximum current density is to where the square. Now, the board electrode on top, the bottom electrode. Board causes the entrance of the 1%. Okay, it's really switching voltage from 4 volts to essentially 0.2 by neural rate. Now, if you bring it to busting from the Prof state, now I have energy to the field from Prof state also. This thing puts it there to 100 we and the current density just really goes out like crazy. Basically, you can see. I mean, this is really fantastic because as you make the device smaller, it's becoming more efficient. Really, really a very, very good thing, right? So I can be just adding the bottom electron and the 100 nanometer bottom electron, you can see the molecules everywhere, but the only molecules that are switching are only where the field is high. So this is really a nonsense of concussion. Now you asked a question about, cycling. So this is the cycling. We do a writing, then read it, erase it, read it, write, read, erase, right? So this cycling reading. And we measure the various states. You can see more than 10 to the 12 cycles and no degradation in the states.
And as your previous slide, it depends on the field density. That's what it's doing.
The interesting part is, if you used to be a flash memory, right? 10 to the 6, you get a million times more stable than the flash memory. It's amazing. This is an experiment done with 350 Kelvin, and you can see for 3 months, the states are actually unaffected. That's pretty amazing. At this point, I got to check, semiconductor, what are they? Take one of my friends at any time, think, yeah, memories, everything's 20, 15, no more problems, everything is done. Industry not doing any more problems, nobody knows, but I have the road is. So, they gave me the latest. The figure was this, 2015, IT was for members. So these are the requirements of the industry. And we're meeting these numbers by a significant value every week. Really remarkable for the device. Is an enterprise device. Switches under the market, 70 millivolts actually. And calculate the pitching energy of this device is about 1 attitude. This is another section that switches 9 and 5 nanosecond. Really given by our measure. I think the switching speed of the device talking half a nanosecond or better. So this is the close to 100% of truth.
Let's say if the industry adopts this. If the industry adopts this, it would just extend the life of most storage. I mean, you're not, they wouldn't want to go into unconventional computing anytime soon. This is a nice bench, right? So,
Then this was a good adoption. This must be looking for adopting.
I mean, it's very unconventional, right?
yeah.
Really, things managed in large pushes stuff. Really population, but I think it's tough. It's really should be making, particularly for small building, right? I mean, if you think of some sensors in the building, right? And they're going to be locally powered by energy harvest. So you take the building migration and temperature difference, you try to generate energy out of it. Then you run these devices, in the conditions. Those kind of applications, I'm trusting for that, it's even more every big thing. And yeah, sure.
That's what we get.
Like, I mean, one would be, mention with some kind of a circuit, would stabilize your circuit before you use it into a circuit. Like you're pulling them, burning it few rates, your situations will continue to probably more than that, right? I mean, but during your whole different situation, your main line, but really needs to work because we have a bunch of circuits in between stabilizing things. So by the time you do this season, it's already stabilized, right? So I don't think it's a question. I don't know.
Form behind the.
Okay.
So I can take them for this audience. Okay. So if you don't mind standing in front of that, then I'll attend the GRS.
So my.
Yeah, so the table goes to the table there. So then we live there.
Well, either that or it was wrong.
Just on the slide, sir.
I'm just. So I gotta be. I see.
If you're getting
Hard, I can't actually say. All right. So. So super stated, we did nothing if religious of these things. I can illustrate the content of the questions like how you go to another elementary, using elements and blah blah blah. So this all the mapping that you can see absolutely used on we able to write down device and nanometer mention. I mean, I don't know the limit of the device, how small can you make? All the kids about 1.5 nanometer. And so I'm assuming that it's going to be some range. We have the molecular size of the molecular dimension with this. Right? Well, what's interesting is people there's that everything in a monster. Which enables you to wrong measurement moves like a nanometer scale. And the exact same wrong spectra of different launch stages. Freewheeling mechanism is the same whether you were micro, you're looking there is truly and think there's some treatment somebody who's treated versus dad. He's another genius. This guy, this Michael that I just talked about was treatment was decent project 30 years. And he saw this molecule very, very difficult. Research for MIT and everybody after the morning. They're not giving it. They're all, they're all trying to make this stuff. No one's just together, right? The market is completely wrong. She will be with some. Yeah, it's job also part of it's a professional. Last one change. Yeah. The story is I arranged for visas for the entire family to the United States, but then I gave it over to the Institute of Science. I said that this guy is a genius. And the next thing you know, he did the science side, all of them. Because they all very good position, so very good and give me more reason to come to my. So we think that's all sure. It is other one person there's amazing stuff, right? These are different molecules. The same thing, but the ligand is different. It's either two azo group in the ligand. The small ligand does some amazing things. So when you make the same thing, you get the switch state. And what was more interesting is if you look at the capacity of the molecule, it also has membrane capacity, connection to members. So this is pretty amazing. This difference, it is so really remarkable things. For example, just take the device, put a load resistor, and put a pulsar. It begins this, it means acting like a neuron. Like once a sequence of pulses. So you see you do the input pulse and then integration fire back. So and it then changes this external resistor. You get a change sequence time in the 135 to 30 minutes mark. The potentiation in the oscillations and instability that you can see in the system. And these are really these are, I mean, these are all the things that neuron does. I mean, in a brain, neurons get into synchronism. We can ability. And remember this first eyes, neurons get into a synchronous game. So you need neurons to get into synchronous. With a little bit of noise, a little bit of chaos is very net. And device actually should you go from a chaotic regime to very ordered. Which is pretty honestly is and it's really marker. This is a tour de force. It's making an inch harder. It's the nature's also the nature material. Second one, the nature nanotechnology. This was an actual nature thing. Where many of it and even very unusual characteristics. See, so that what the structure take the CMC most. So I want to use the seeding strengths to do some logic on. Okay, so the single device is a large block, like a thought can be great, but this single device can give you 73 different variables, one device. So the single device can do a decision tree basically. It's pretty basic. Very how to use it to make logic. That's a whole different ballgame, right? But it doesn't even matter that the usually more amazing device, single device, all like 70, well, like 32 transition. So it's actually demonstrate a whole bunch of decision making stuff with this thing. And let me just show you one. I mean, we used to make circuit form. And the endurance, the quantum device level, as well as the array level mark in these devices. But it's going to keep going an input volume pattern. And here's a comparison with what I call molecular difference, molecular patterns for device compared with multi-core processor, which comes from galaxy tendency, and then the mean logic to different here. You could consider in devices. You know, this device is 20 millimeters square. The other one is about 225 millimeters square, the tracking area. Okay, for the same information. You look at that, it's 340 times less than the depth and circuit base. Almost $5,000. Lower. So I think this paper just got published in Advanced Materials doing quite a thing. And so these are the various people involved in this project. And this is 3 doors. This is 3 buildings. And we're also working with Stan Williams, Texas A&M unit. Like we try to call it very nice, brilliant electronics team. These are our papers in the field. So like much technology chip must be buggy being that it makes some noise with the mouth. But if
Last one is I have a document.
So remote classification.
I think I'm asking the same question. Is there any predefined way of choosing those organic molecules for this kind of manuscripts?
what do you want to
Like it has to be a metal organic, something like molecules.
to add in this
Anyone has
many you can do. That you not here, right? You can be made of steel with many other metals. We say name. You can replace the name with that. Also, the feeder is a pyridine group, right? Which is when you go back to the molecular, right? You can be epithelium. Even is this metal group for treatment for a few days in the group. And you can wash to these bonds here. And all of those things have an interesting effect on the molecule. So that's another thing. In addition to this, the core molecule, there's actually this companion molecule called the counter ion. So this is next to this in this patient that can also be very. So you can change the properties of molecules considerably by changing the engineering.
It seems to be dye, like it's like a ruthenium dye, which has a particular absorption factor, like homologoletic purchase. So so do we also have a optically active, like you can make another state with like shining a light on?
Actually, raising a very interesting point. I mean, they don't even share into organic molecules like that. Even 1% the total data again. Like a huge volume of this thing. That's why I kept saying 3 quarters of them. The thesis were confounded by this students. Just unbelievable. And this molecule, if you share this on, it photoluminescent. And the photoluminescence is very short in the off state. In on state is very, very important. It's interesting, right? When you sleep the lock electrically on and on, you know, and you get the sense, right? It'll just come on and off. Drop, you can actually monitor the devices. It's all like after Genesis. You know what they do? Neurons, right? They put calcium in neuron, it's free. And then when they actually when the brain fires turn on or off, the calcium lights up. You can see the light. We can do the same thing with this after Genesis. It's really interesting.
Probably switching off of luminescence or maybe a singlet emission to triplet state or something.
Yeah, yeah. So you know the state change and eventually with the light kind of.
Thank
you.
Use for electricity, like who you said the video. Like, can you tell us like what is the area of the like device?
BTU, yeah. That range from 100 micron down to few meters.
Like maximum 100 micrometer. Yes. Because like if we increase the area, then leakage will come. Then it is come.
Yeah, and we just with those areas just to see the scaling behavior, see RA versus the, you know, thickness, just see whether that has us, you know, expected scaling behavior. That's why we did that stuff. Yeah. Okay. Crosses and Lakshman.
It loud.
So, sir, as discussed, that the neurons are showing a cooperative kind of behavior. We want to build them into a memoristic device. So, with this cooperative type of behavior, it's a different kind of performance compared to what is being studied at a single neuron level.
Cooperative behavior.
Yes.
It's very complicated. To say because in the neuron behavior, it's very, very complex. And when the neuron communicate with each other, it's unbelievable. I mean, each neuron has 10 to the power 4 dendrites. I mean, that's why I said I think of 5 of this said. I mean, when each one of the dendrite points to another neuron. So each neuron is 10 to the power 4 neuron. Okay. I mean, I think cooperative behavior is a totally man as social intelligence science possibly can think of it. Creating or influencing each other. Right? We did very little independence here. So there's a lot of cooperative activity. Reason why. Trying to get the immense and cost. Why? Because if I understand it, digital electronic circuit, right? Then I can get maybe, you know, 1 electrons in plane, maybe 2 vertically, maybe, and you maybe 2 lines in and out. And so maximum lines are available for information, maybe 46 the most. Typically, it's a different word. I'm building a different network. I can broadcast my light. And I can many devices. So you can, but you need to go into fix energy becomes a huge issue because, you know, you give it the light, talk about something else. And then you have to use electrical power to convert generate its efficiency. Once you hit the photons, right? Then quantum of energy for every operation is a minimum of 1 eV. Here, this molecular device is shown. The switching voltage is like 70 millivolts. It's really the device more than 100 times more efficient compared to photonic. So when you compare the energy efficiency, photonic device never make it as the most energy efficient device. They only limited by the quantum. That's the problem. And then as reviews, times that, you know, 48 seconds will always be inefficient. So you based on photons, that's this disadvantage. And the advantage that you can broadcast a signal to the can explore the neuron like already being in a trunks. Or do the there. Or I'll say something randomly like this.
Instance control. Having precise control is going to be a challenge.
Precise control.
Precise control.
Actually, today that to make decision, there's no precision at all. That's a thing, like on the computation, here it's like we actually down to like 30 decimal places or something. You know how much is a lot of errors, a lot of it self-error correction, right? Yeah. So human logic is exactly the opposite of conventional computation. Chaotic setup. When I told linguistic conference at the end of the conference, my mind was in a totally chaotic state.
They should miss the state of resonance of sound.
Check the chat files. Chat files. Check the questions. Bigger than chats.
Here is quite a few of them. You probably should tell for stand there and down without great information for us.
So it's really lucky. My problem this might have a stick if you on the controls.
Then we talk of features. But that's some neurons in there. For further research. Thank you very much. The enthusiasm and energy. Meet our. He found a few months back. What is playing the comparison?
James here.
Yes, yes.